Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. And so let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghanies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring. And when this happens, when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
A very beautiful morning and welcome to Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM. This very beautiful Saturday morning, wherever you are listening to us from, it's always a pleasure. And today being the 18th day in the month of April in the year 2026, it's a pleasure to welcome you on another week edition of Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM. Remember, on this very platform, we speak the truth. We uphold the truth and we preserve the truth. We call a spade a spade. We can never call a spade by any other name. That's more reason we say nos dicere veritas and nos dicere iuris veritas and nos dicere vivificabit veritas and nos dicere lingolum and nos contra dicere lingolum. You are welcome wherever you are listening to us from. We also understand that there are so many people who are hooked up to this very program, because we are ubiquitous, we're everywhere, and we're already doing what we should do. And we will tell you that we are loaded, we are prepared, semper paratus, and we are going to do the needful. For those of you who are watching, or those who joined us on our social media handles, if you're following us on Facebook or if you're following us on YouTube, remember, if you have not done that, you can as well do so. You can simply search Udala FM on Facebook and follow us. And you can also do same on YouTube and subscribe. Subscribe does not mean you have to pay. Just click the button that tells you that you are following us. It's about 10 minutes on the hour of 4 a.m. in New York, 10 minutes on the hour of 9 a.m. in London, and also 10 minutes on the hour of 5 p.m. in Japan, 10 minutes on the hour of 10 a.m. in Germany this morning, and 10 minutes on the hour of 8 a.m. in Accra, Ghana, 11 minutes on the hour of 4 p.m. in China, and also 11 minutes on the hour of 3 a.m. in Chicago, Illinois. And also 11 minutes on the hour of 8 p.m. in Auckland, Pacific. And about 41 minutes on the hour of 1 p.m. in Delhi, India. South Africa is 11 minutes on the hour of 10 a.m. And also 11 minutes on the hour of 12 midday in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. And across different places, across different time horizons, you are welcome. My name is Tony Olisambeki, the Honorable Speaker, welcoming you once again. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. And this very morning is going to be, as usual, explosive, and we are going to exchange the fire as usual. But then we have a guest who is here with us, who is seated. Of course, he came very early before the time. That tells you that he's a very punctual personality. Punctuality is also another mark or hallmark of good leader. And also somebody who is a legal practitioner and a member of African Democratic Congress and a stalwart. And then from every indication, he's an aspirant. But we are here to discuss politics today. That's what we are here for. We have in the studio Honorable Barrister Ifeanyi Chukwu Luke Mbanose. Of course, he's the frontline aspirant for House of Rep, but for Idemili North and Idemili South Federal Constituency. But we are here to discuss politics generally and talk about a lot of things that happen in the congresses, convention, quite a lot, even in the politics, general politics. It's my pleasure to welcome you, Honorable Barrister Ifeanyi Chukwu Mbanose.
Thank you very much, my brother, Tony Mbeki. I'm very glad to be with you again, once again.
All right, let's quickly serve you the political roundup stories. Once we are done with the political roundup stories, we're going to come back and look at so many things happening in the polity. We start with the Congress. ADC had last week, they had a Congress, State Congress in Oka. And they also followed that with their national convention. A lot of things happened during the national convention we would like to know. And immediately after that, quite a lot of allegations, counter-allegations, their case in court, Bala nephew Gombe, if it's being sponsored or not sponsored, if the states, Nigeria is sliding into one-party states, is there anything like that? Are there evidence to show or to support or to depose that is actually a reality? We're going to talk about some of the things. We're going to talk about the chance of ADC come 2027. We are talking about their chance, especially the presidency as they're concerned. And then looking at the statement made by Mr. President that it was tough for him when he wasn't there, but now he is here. And he's not afraid of anybody. And nobody can intimidate him. Sounding so confident, so poised. We're going to talk about some of these things. Just sit back and enjoy the program. Let's quickly serve you the political roundup stories. Once we are done with that, we're going to come back and start talking about politics, real politics. Do not go anywhere. It's a pleasure to welcome you, to have you on the show. And I know you will be itching for us to start going. And we understand that ABGA is having their Southeast stakeholders meeting taking place in Oka. Of course, I'm aware that the meeting or the stakeholders meeting will start around 10. And many of them are actually trooping. Ordinarily, we would have had a member of ABGA who will also want to ask questions about their meetings, their preparations, and all that. But many of them have converged at International Convention Center for the Southeast Stakeholders meeting, so we couldn't do that. But then we have Ifeanyi Mbanose, a lawyer, a legal practitioner. Of course, he's also a public affairs analyst and also a commentator as well. But let's quickly serve you the political roundup stories. With this very story on the issue of airline operators of Nigeria. They have temporarily suspended this planned nationwide shutdown of flight operations. The suspension, announced after an emergency meeting, followed the intervention by the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Mr. Festus KMO SAN. And many Nigerians are wondering why the airline operators cannot even go on strike, because it's going to affect the elites and they would not allow that to happen. The management of Benua Links Nigerian Limited on Friday confirmed the arrest of its driver following the abduction of passengers, mostly candidates of the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board JAMB. The incident occurred during a night journey from Makurdi to Otubo. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board has released the result of candidates who sat for the 2026 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination on Thursday, April 16, 2026, with a total of 632,788 results now available for viewing. In a statement issued by the board on Friday and signed by its spokesperson Fabian Benjamin, candidates were advised to check their result by sending UTME results via SMS to 55019 using the same phone number used during registration. The reopening of the Strait of Hormuz following a ceasefire agreement in the Middle East is expected to calm global oil markets and ease petrol prices. But experts have warned that Nigerians may not see immediate relief at the pumps. They noted that while easing global oil prices could reflect in Nigeria's downstream market, petrol prices may gradually decline to around 1,000 naira per litre if market forces are allowed to operate. Two Nigerian men, Akinade Rahim and Abayomi Eletu, are facing 50 years imprisonment each for an alleged multiple tax fraud scheme involving stolen identities to steal more than $100 million from the Internal Revenue Service in the United States. In a statement by the Department of Justice on Wednesday, Rahim and Eletu allegedly conspired with their accomplices to claim fraudulent tax refunds by impersonating accountants and taxpayers. Nothing when Nigeria no go do. Gunmen on Thursday night ambushed and beheaded a 30-year-old man, Mr. Elisha Shaku, at Rewi Chiwo in Nzaruvo, Miango district of Bassa local government area of Plateau State. And residents said on Friday that the incident occurred around 10 p.m. when the gunmen stormed the community, throwing it into panic and confusion. An explosion at a filling station in the Bocos local government area of Plateau State on Friday claimed the lives of 2 welders and left 3 other persons injured. Of course, some residents of the Bocos town, including the chairman of the community peace observers in the local government, Kefas Malai, confirmed the incident to journalists. And we're also knowing that no fewer than 974 offenders were convicted and sentenced to various jail terms during the first quarter of 2026. And this occurred as National Drug Law Enforcement Agency intensified its arrest, prosecution, and confiscation of the assets of drug traffickers and their collaborators across the country. And we are also going to let you know that former Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, has said he was chased out of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, by then President Goodluck Jonathan and his wife, Patience Jonathan. Amechi spoke on Friday during his appearance on private television, where he said quite a lot of things, how and why he left the People's Democratic Party. And those were your political round of stories. And let's quickly begin with the business of the day. You are welcome. It's good to have you. right, let's quickly begin by asking you, Barrister Ifeanyi Chukwu Luke Mbano say there was a state congress. In fact, we were supposed to be around here before now, but because of the congress, you couldn't make it. The ADC Anambra State chapter had a congress. Let's ask you, how did it go? What really transpired? And what that congress actually means? Do they need that congress for any reason? Or is it a case to where those who joined ADC decided to hold a congress so that they would take over the leadership of the party in the state? Let's get to know about the congress that happened last week Saturday in Oka.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Tony Mbeki. We had Congress on the April 11th at Oka. And what Congress means at this point is that we had our meeting, stakeholders meeting at Enugu Southeast, and we were, during the meeting, the leadership of the party gathered together and they agreed that all the stakeholders should go back to their various wards and local governments and conduct what we call Congress. But first of all, before the Congress, these stakeholders should harmonize. And when we mean harmonization, we know that we are a coalition party and whereby so many other political parties came together. And until this time we had Congress, most of these parties have not joined us fully. So it then means that we should harmonize and accommodate everybody. They had their own various leaderships at their own local governments, at their various wards. So we try to do it in order to accommodate everybody as a party and as a body and as a family in Anambra State. So we did it successfully, and what we had in Lagos and Oka at 11th of April was what we call ratification of the various congresses that took place on the 9th of April. That 9th of April, we had ward and local government congresses together, and it took place at various wards and local government respectively. So what we did on that very day of Congress at Oka was to ratify the Congress already had, and needless to go to say that all these things were done based on consensus.
Okay, it was based on consensus.
Right.
But I want to find out, because there was election of the new Anambra State ADC chairman. We saw the emergence of Chris Makonwosu and also Barrister Chibo Enwezo, who has been regular on this very program, emerging as the state chairman and at the same time the state secretary. Was it a case where P2B decided to handpick them? Because from reports we've got, it was alleged anyway that P2B personally handpicked these two persons to serve as the ADC chairman in Anambra State and possibly as the MDC secretary. Is that the case?
No, I don't agree with this, because the stakeholders had a meeting at Enugu and we all agreed that we have to harmonize. And this harmonize means we have to also look into so many things, and it will not be possible to agree that P2B handpicked. His Excellency wouldn't do that. It's very democratic, so to say. He will allow the people, the stakeholders, to decide on the people that could be, that could be capable of handling this job. So it is not right to say that P2B handpicked those people, but we had our Congress, and during our Congress, those people there were people that were already appointed to come and harmonize in the state. And they did their job very well and came up with what they have done, and it was ratified and also agreed upon on that very day at Oka.
Okay.
So P2B did not handpick. It was agreed.
With stakeholders saying. But interestingly, the two persons that emerge as chairman and secretary, they have been regular on this very program, Chris Makonwosu and also Barrister Chibo Enwezo. But one thing we know about Chris Makonwosu, he seems to be an apostle of P2B. If you go through his Facebook posts, he has been a strong supporter a strong promoter, a strong energizer of PW. And you can always have issues with him, especially when you try to put up anything against PW. He definitely going to have issue with him. And that's why some people are saying probably he could have been handpicked.
No, I don't agree with that. I think he was actually appointed and agreed upon based on consensus on his competence.
On his competence. Not because of any other thing.
Not because of any other thing. Likewise, the secretary, Enwezo. Barrister Enwezo was also, he couldn't have won it if he's not competent. He has been very competent. So we really need people that will move ADC forward in Anambra State.
The truth remains that Barrister Enwezo moved from APC quite recently.
Interesting, yes.
And they came to ADC and he has been rewarded by position. Don't you think that he could have stayed for long before he will be assigned any position, or because he's competent?
That is what I earlier explained, that we came together as political parties that came together under coalition. And on that basis, we did not go to start asking how long each person had stayed in the party. Because if we start looking into it, there are procedures through which each person will get to that point to say, I'm contesting or I'm vying for a position in the political party. But because we are trying to harmonize and get everybody together and carry everybody on board, that is why he was considered. Not because he just came and be rewarded. No, I don't agree with that.
When there are some information we gathered that there are those who are not happy with the Congress, the State Congress. There are some aggrieved members of the party, and their grievances stem from the fact that they were not given what probably is due to them, or they were overlooked. They have been in the party, they have worked in the party. I don't know if there is any mechanism to resolve this issue, if at all it does exist, because you cannot keep aggrieved members within the same party block. Is there any mechanism where this issue of one grievance or the other as a result of the last State Congress held in Oka could be resolved? Or is the party doing anything to resolve that?
Thank you very much, Tony. During our meeting at Enugu Southeast Zone meeting, everybody was there, including all the state chairmen. You see, we had an agreement where one of the main leaders advocated and advised that everybody should be treated equally and everybody should be treated with equity and fairness. So I don't want to agree that there is anybody that is aggrieved that will not be handled very well, unless somebody that doesn't want to cooperate and somebody that does not want to work in agreement, because we have just one purpose. The single purpose we have is just to have our brother, His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi, get the ticket to run the affairs of ADC in 2027. And I believe people in the southeastern zone should have that as their main purpose. So I don't want to agree that anybody will be so aggrieved as not to be treated or not to be considered based on his previous position. It was agreed that everybody would be considered, unless whereby the person said, no, I don't want to be part of the thing that is going on. That's why I said that it was agreement of the stakeholders.
Or the stakeholders. Was there any committee set up to look into any grievance?
Exactly.
Was there any committee set up?
Yes, we have committees. We even have, apart from having committees for harmonization, which have been sitting, I don't want to mention names of the head of the committees, then we also have a Congress Appeal Committee chairman.
Okay.
So there are channels for all these things to be handled.
So if you have any petition, you have to address it to the Congress Committee. As against going to the court.
As against going to court.
All right, let's quickly leave the State Congress. Let's talk about the National Convention the party had on the 14th of April. And we saw what happened. I saw the post made by Femi Fale-Kanaide. He said that, look at these people. They look hungry. They converge in a very small place, using their brochure to fund themselves, where the air conditioner or the air conditioning systems were not working, and they are assembled there with just one purpose. I don't want to go deep into what he said, but he was just trying to make mockery of the fact that you people use Rainbow Event Center which he deemed not too conducive for such an occasion, where there was jam-packing of members of the party, where they were finding themselves to approach you, and a lot of things he said. But in any case, let's talk about the convention. How did the convention go? We saw the ratification, we saw the suspension of Nafi Bala Gunmen. We also saw many statements made. So many of these statements were targeted at APC. How did the convention go, and why did you people decide to use that Rainbow Event Center?
Well, first and foremost, let me begin by thanking God that the convention itself was fantastic. You see, it is true that we had some challenges, but we believe that we couldn't have asked for anything better than that, because the convention was fantastic. It was held in such a way that you will see members, organic members of the party, where people were trooping from all nooks and corners, from all parts of Nigeria. Okay, so we believe that no matter what had happened and how they tried to frustrate, ADC had a wonderful convention, very successfully did. Okay, so whatever that somebody was posting wasn't true, because at the end of the day, I was inside the hall. Air conditioners were working.
You were there?
I was there live.
Well, I want you to address a concern. Sorry, I'm going to take you back to Anambra State Convention and the Congress in Anambra State. I saw a post. I don't know how true the post is. I saw a notice sent to me. A notice was sent to me. And then the notice was talking about notification of ward, local government and state congresses in Anambra State. And then if you go through that notice, it talks about what congresses holding on Tuesday, 5th of May, and the local government congress, the local government area congresses will be holding on Thursday, 7th of May, and state congress on Saturday, 9th of May, according to the notification, to ensure a seamless administrative transition and avoid any vacuum in party leadership, where it goes on to say it has been resolved that all legitimate winners of these congresses shall be inaugurated without delay immediately. Of course, it was signed by Patrick Obianyo, where the person who signed it says he's the state chairman with his number, and then also Pastor Lawrence Okeke, the state secretary. Well, I understand that you are telling me that the congresses have been held on the 9th of April. That's what he told me. But I have another notice here saying that there will be another congress holding on the 5th of May, and also 7th of May for local government, 5th of May for ward, and also the state on the 9th of May. So why this confusion?
Okay, I think, everything can happen in social media. I don't want to believe all this is you are telling me. I strongly believe that even when we were at Enugu during the Southeast stakeholders meeting, everybody was there, including the person you said that signed it.
He was there?
And, yeah, he was at the meeting. And I believe that we are not here to start talking about such issue. I am not comfortable. I wouldn't be in a position to start answering such question.
Okay.
Rather, I will tell you that whatever that had transpired in Anambra State, everybody was carried along. Like I said, except somebody that said, no, I don't want to be whatever you're doing. But I believe everybody should be treated and be compensated very well. So
no two state chairmen of ADC in Anambra State, because somebody is claiming to be the state chairman.
I'm not aware of that.
Okay.
And you can remember that prior to all these things you're reading, we had our Congress on the 9th for local government and wards, and we also had our Congress for State Congress on the 11th of April. Then the National Convention on the 14th. And good enough that you mentioned that some people were already suspended. So you can now tell me, having done our convention and having successfully chosen and brought out, ratified by consensus the leadership of the party, Now you can tell me under which authority such
because all the congresses must have been held before the convention.
Sure.
And so these state congresses and world congresses cannot come after the national convention.
No, it's not possible.
Because the logical pathway is the ward, after the ward, the local government, after the local government, the state, after the state, the national convention. But there is somebody putting another congresses against the time.
I'm not aware of that.
You are not, but don't worry. Well, we are aware of that because I know the person who signed this, Patrick Obianyo. For the last time I interviewed him here, he was the state chairman of ADC. And possibly he believes he cannot just relinquish that position to another person just like that. No, without compensation.
Just like I said, everybody in ADC will be accommodated and will be treated fairly. And when you go to equity, you go with clean hands.
Okay.
We cannot go and start throwing a state chairman off like that, which has been considered for a certain good position.
Okay.
So I believe that the people in charge are handling it.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Away from that, you are actually telling us about the National Convention. Let's quickly conclude by conclude your thoughts on the National Convention. You say that the air conditioning system was working,
right,
and then you were not sweating, you were not fanning yourself with the brochure at your hand, and other things that happened because these things were written by Femi Fani-Kayode, and then he called the people, the assemble, all manner of names.
The thing is that you see, I don't solicit for just make propaganda.
Okay.
We are talking about that. I was there. I can show you pictures of the inside of the arena. You see, before the leadership of the party came in, the air conditioners have started working fully. I was inside there, and it was conducive.
Why didn't the people use Eagle Square, which would have been more befitting? Eagle Square has space, enough space, where every state delegations will be well structured, will be well stratified, and placed properly. It will adorn a national look as somebody who is having his wedding, because it wasn't a traditional wedding or white wedding, but a national convention. Why didn't people use the Eagle Square?
Well, I wouldn't say exactly why it was not possible, but I knew that the party, the people organizing, the committee in charge had already made effort, applied for all the conducive places, and I heard they were denied to use Eagle Square, but I don't have any evidence to show that. But I can as well tell you that in order to make sure that we have our convention, the Rainbow Event Center was very, very okay. It was big enough, it accommodated everybody outside. If you see the scenario and see the pictures, you see that a lot of people attended and they were all accommodated. It was quite a large place. I wouldn't go into what transpired before we started the convention, but I know that just like I said, in spite of all the challenges, we had our convention and it was fantastic. We couldn't ask anything better than that.
Was there any attempt to stop the convention?
I mean, you can see that you heard from so many people that spoke there of the effort to stop it, of the effort to revoke the license of the owner. All those things are just mere distractions. So we didn't look at that. Rather, we were bent and focused on having our convention, and it was successfully did.
So for you now, INEC was not there. So how could you say your convention was successful when INEC didn't even come? They didn't show up.
Well, when you come to the issue of INEC was duly notified, 21 days notice. If you look at the new Electoral Act 2026 as amended, at Section 82, subsection 1, any party that want to do convention or congresses must notify INEC within 21 days. And ADC did all this quite on time. And the INEC were duly notified and they acknowledged to that. You see, and in the same section 2, they said INEC, they are mandated to attend. But I can say if they choose not to come, it is not a must, because what matters most is that this convention was successful, and what matters to INEC was the result. The result of the convention is very, very important to them. Not even them not coming, because
how would they ascertain the true version of the result if they were not there?
Well, I mean, they can, if they choose to relegate on their duties, it is up to them.
They said why they did not come was because there is appeal court judgment that restrained them from coming. That appeal court had said that status quo ante bellum be maintained, and going further to hold a convention will undermine the case at the federal high courts. For that reason, they said they would not be part of anything that will undermine the appeal court judgment that ordered status quo ante bellum to be maintained. So according to them, status quo ante bellum means go back to the way things were before the hostilities. That's the way they interpreted it.
You see, we cannot delve into, you see, when a matter, as a lawyer, when a matter is in the court, I will not be here to start discussing a matter that is before the court. But I will tell you that to the best of my knowledge, there are a lot of plethora of cases already decided by the Supreme Court. No court has any jurisdiction to delve into internal matters of political parties, especially when it concerns to the leadership. So we had a lot of case laws, you see. So I don't want to go into that. I want to leave that for the court. For instance, we know that in the governance of this country, we have the executive, we have the legislature, and we have the judiciary. And this is separation of powers. And it is not good for any reason for any of these sections to be influenced unduly for no reason. So we expected that they should do their job very well. We had timeline for these congresses, for the convention, and even for the primary. And any way somebody is trying to stop it, show exactly that that person had ulterior motive. That person is not working in the interest of the nation. And I cannot be here and subscribe for a government that wouldn't support opposition. We cannot run one-party system in Nigeria. It is not possible.
You mean that there is an attempt to slide the country into one-party system?
You have seen it yourself. Otherwise, why should we, after notifying INEC, duly notify 21 days, and all of a sudden somebody will come up and be acting on the issue of court, which you know that does not have jurisdiction?
Now, why is ADC pushing that INEC chairman, Professor George Amopeton, be relieved of his appointment? Either he resigns or he be sacked. Why are they pushing for that? Is it because he said that he's not recognizing Mark as the APC national chairman?
I will not say it's ADC, but the Nigerian people.
But ADC issued a statement, and they made statements.
Yeah, but it is this kind of statement you're talking about. You will look at the Nigerian people. The Nigerian people have seen what is going on and know that this Amopito, the EDEC chairman, is not working for the interest of the nation.
So whose interest is he working for?
He has to tell better. He's in position to explain.
So you mean he's not working for the interest of the nation? It means that he's also working for the interest of another people or section. So who could that be? He
himself can tell better about this. He knows, because he cannot receive a notice and acknowledge that, and all of a sudden he will come up and start on the 1st of April. He start talking about that these are. I mean, he doesn't want they want to destabilize ADC, but we cannot agree, because there must be an opposition party, and ADC is the only party that can stand out to oppose and be able to take over the government from them.
We have other opposition parties. We have PDP. We also have Labour Party. We also have ABGA. We also have AAC. There are so many other opposition parties. Are these parties not, alive, or are they not functioning? Or does it mean that ADC sees itself as the only opposition, whereas there are other opposition parties?
I believe that all the political parties have their own, their executives, and they have their own principles, policies guiding them. It is left for them on what they want. But for ADC, which I know that we have coalition, whereby all these parties you mentioned, some of their members had already joined ADC. We have come together and agreed on our purpose. So we are working for a purpose to be able to face the injustice being played out in Nigeria and be able to change the government in power.
The only thing that ADC should be thinking about 2031 as against 2027. The reason being that they just formed their coalition that are trying to stand even with the pressure everywhere, and look at the statement credited to Mr. President that he was not there before, but now he's here. And it was tough when he wasn't there. That nobody will intimidate him. Nobody would also, ride roughshod on him. That he is not afraid of anybody. It's a way of trying to dismiss the opposition, the ADC chances. More like saying that he's confident that he will be declared the winner come 2027. And I'm asking, having seen the handwriting on the wall, don't you think that the best thing for ADC would be to start planning for 2031 and concede 2027 to APC?
Never. The suffering of the masses is enormous. There's no way a right-thinking person in this country will fold his hands and say he will support this government to continue in 2027. Therefore, ADC as a coalition party have gathered together. And when you say they just came together, don't forget that these people are political stakeholders from various parties that came together. And they were able to form this coalition and alliances to be able to remove the government in power. Okay? So, if the president said he's not afraid, why is he fighting to destabilize the opposition? If he's not afraid, how many governors has he gotten on his side? 31 to 32 governors, and still he's afraid. Why is they afraid of having free and fair election and transparent election? If he's not afraid, why are they stopping real-time transmission of results? Who can you start telling that you're stopping it because of network? Is somebody not ashamed saying that Nigeria at this year and age will be talking of network failure, especially on the election day? So if he's not afraid, let him leave ADC alone.
You mean that the president is truly afraid?
I have given you instances of being afraid.
I'm not afraid.
I'm telling you, if he's not afraid, why don't he let APC be doing their things? I mean, how can a political party try to do something that will show that he wants to form a one-party system, and he said he's not afraid?
And he has come out to say that it's not the problem of ADC. Well, he is not the one pushing Balagombe to do whatever he's trying to do.
Nobody's saying that.
So how are you now saying that he is not leaving ADC alone, as if he's holding ADC?
You said the handwriting is on the wall, and I told you part of the handwriting being on the wall is trying to frustrate everything that is going on in ADC. And we said no.
There's no evidence to show that he's trying to frustrate anything. Is there any evidence apart from the fact you mentioned that why no real-time transmission, and then at the same time, why trying to make sure that governors come to your side? That's lobbying.
I mean, that one is not issue. He can take all the governors, but the people of Nigeria will decide who will be president come 2027. So we are not arguing about whether he has taken all the governors on his side. Let the people decide. Let the people vote. Let the vote count.
Of course, he is arguing based on his performance that he has done exceedingly well. And one of the things he has said it many times, that the governors have more money to work with. If not for what he did in ensuring that subsidy is gone, now the country can boast of so much resources to fund different infrastructural projects. And many governors are doing that in the respective states. And these works are telling. It's a sign to show that the people are with them. Roads are constructed, bridges are built, and more works are going on in respective states. Ogun State, of course, finished building airports. And there's so many coastal highways, rail projects, so many things going on in the country. And he has also said that he has done extensively well in the area of unification of foreign exchange. You don't have arbitrage as we used to have before now. And we have a single market, backlogs cleared, confidence being reposed, investors coming into the country, putting in their money, that he is so much confident that he's going to win based on his performance.
You see, Mr. Tony Mbeki, we are no longer arguing about so many optics and the propaganda being showed or showcased by the government in power. What we are saying is the main basic issue, requirements, what will be able to keep a common man on the street, say yes, this government is doing well. We are suffering from serious insecurity in this country.
You mean he hasn't done so much to stem the tide of insecurity?
It is terrible. We are still suffering from insecurity. I don't have to come here and start mentioning them. You are a journalist, you are here, you're hearing, then people are suffering from hunger. And you are talking about foreign exchange. What foreign exchange are you talking about? Is Naira what is supposed to be today in terms of value exchange rate? I don't want to go into that. I'm not an economist to start discussing on that particular issue. But I know as far as we are concerned, he is not doing well in that area at all. And we are not foreseeing any situation that will make it better in the near future.
I want to ask you, because are
we talking about crude oil and petrol? That one is the worst.
You mean that ADC could have done something differently?
Very, very well.
At this point, we are Strait of Hormuz, whatever that is going on between US, Iran, and Israel, do you think ADC would have done something that wouldn't make the price to shoot above 1,300 per litre?
The issue of price of petrol going up did not just start because of the Iran war. We have been suffering on the hike of petrol. I mean, we have 4 refineries in this country. During the previous government he took over from, the man assured that immediately he takes over, he will make sure that 2 refineries started working. It didn't happen. And when he took over, he said that it's a continuation of Buhari, which is let the suffering continue. And the issue is that the suffering did not just continue, it became worse than ever Nigeria had ever had.
Are you of the view, because the problems the president inherited may not be fixed in 4 years, that's why he's asking for more 4 years to enable him fix the rot, that the rot is so endemic that it will not even be fixed in 4 years. He talked about the issue of energy crisis. Of course, he told Nigerians that if you cannot fix energy crisis, that he should be voted out. But he said, I've gone in there and I've seen this myself. The depth I measured when I was not there is not the same depth I'm seeing being there. That he was not there, and he has come to see the rot is so enormous that 4 years cannot be enough to address the issue of energy crisis. I saw Amechi saying that statement is enough for Nigerians to vote him out, but the president is saying give him more 4 years and that will be fixed.
Let me tell you clearly that it will be very, very difficult for one to believe that he does not know what is happening in the country. Because by the time he wanted to take over, he said it was his turn, a miracle. Let me say it clearly that at his level, he should understand the energy position in Nigeria. And he assured us that if he does not fix light, that we should vote him out. So, and that's the reason why we say we should vote him out. Because this light issue you're talking about is the commonest thing that you can give in any country. But why is Nigerian's case different? Why is Nigerian case different?
You know why? Because he says that we have not made massive investment in area of electricity generation. It requires investment, building infrastructures, building a lot. That is not something that can be done in 4 years.
Well, I believe that if he has seen it that, because I believe he knows a lot before he took over. Let me tell you, if actually he won the election, though, before he took over, he should have understood this and probably would not even ventured into going into the governance at all. Because I believe that saying that he want to continue from where Buhari stopped he shouldn't have made that statement that if he doesn't fix light, we should vote him out. And we are ready to vote him out because he has not been able to perform.
Now, I want to ask you, because it's important we look at those who are trying to challenge the president. We have Atiku on one side, we have Kwankwaso on the other side, we have P2B on the other side. Don't you think that that will be the beginning of ADC problem? Because the issue of their primaries, we've listened to Atiku. Atiku said he prefers he prefers consensus primaries, where the party will sit together and then agree on who will be the candidate of the party. But he also have P2B pushing for direct primaries, because he feels that with direct primaries, it will not be compromised, it will not be dollarized, delegates will not be given so much money, where every member of the party will be given that space to make a decision on who becomes the candidate of the party. And we've seen Kwankwaso being positioned as a running mate to P2B on one hand. We have seen Amaechi being positioned to be the running mate of Atiku on the other hand. It seems that we are going to have this dichotomy: Atiku, Amaechi, P2B, Kwankwaso, and that could be the beginning of ADC problem. Are you not seeing what I'm sensing? Are you not seeing what I'm seeing?
What you're seeing is different because you're far away.
Okay.
I am an insider of ADC, and I am a major stakeholder. I'm happy that I came here last year. I joined ADC on May 2025, and I remember we had our first coalition meeting on June 5th, 2025. So let me just tell you that ADC has come together under this coalition as a family. And I know that in any family, you cannot say there won't be any issue or problems. But I can tell you that this issue you're talking about is far from what ADC is planning and what they are having in mind. The new Electoral Act had already made it clear that the only two ways to produce a candidate in primary election is by consensus or by direct primaries. And when you now said there is one party suggesting that you want consensus and another party suggesting direct primary, both of them are okay. But I'm not here to tell you what will be decided by the party. This is left for African Democratic Congress Party. Leadership will decide on what will happen finally. And I can also tell you that none of the people you mentioned will be aggrieved when anybody is chosen. But why I wouldn't go into that is that I can assure you I don't want to talk much about that, because I strongly believe that His Excellency P2B will be the president, will be the candidate.
That's what you think?
That's what I think and I believe. I don't want to talk about it.
If it goes by consensus, he will be aggrieved because he will not subscribe to that. He has said it many times that the best part is for the party to conduct direct primaries. And if the leadership of the party, for one reason, decides that it's going to be consensus, that will be pitching him against the leadership of the party. And that would also mean that he may leave the party. But if they go through direct primaries, which has been his favorite, he may align very well. How sure are you that if the whole thing go into direct primary, that he will emerge victorious? How is he positioning to emerge victorious? Because likes of Atiku has said this shot will be his last. By November, he will be 80 years. He's not going to run again. So he's more like the last card. He has played every card, but this one is his last card. And Atiku is not yielding. He's not backing down. He is not slowing down. And he believes that he has a mission. He has called P2B, join me in this race. And P2B has said, I want to be the president. Atiku has said, I want to be the president. And you are saying that for you, that you would prefer P2B to be the candidate of the party.
Anyway, I'm just, let me tell you that I don't want to get involved in this particular discussion. One, the party leadership is capable. And we are waiting that they should be able to come with the right decision. And for whatever they agreed is left for the party to decide. But like I said, why I wouldn't want to delve much into it is that I have this confident and strong belief that P2B will emerge the candidate for 2027
So, Tiko,
election.
if he emerges, who will be his running mate?
Well, that also will be decided by the party.
But then you have conjured that he would emerge, and you now leave the running mate to be decided by the party. Just continue with your conjecturing. It's your estimation. You can.
Well, I don't want to get into that because I know that a lot is being done by the party for this particular purpose. It's just like asking me about the primary, direct primary, what it takes or how it will go. I will tell you that all these things is left for the party to decide.
Now the question is popularity, because people, outsiders, many people are looking at the party believing that it's between P2B and Atiku Abubakar, because these are the two top aspirants.
Then with their
there is
running mates.
Yes, but there is this news we are hearing that P2B may be open to run as a vice president to Atiku if Atiku emerges. But you may not be in a position to answer this question, but there is this very news. But he says if anybody emerges through a transparent process, he will support the person. That exactly. The process will be transparent. But if it's not transparent, he will not. Now the question is ADC ready to conduct a transparent primaries?
Exactly. The era of transactional delegates has gone. We are no longer talking about transactional delegates. So we are talking about free and fair primary election. Whichever way the party leadership chooses, that's be it. Whether they choose to do it under consensus or direct primary, fine. I am not in position to say which way they will follow here.
All right, let's quickly take a moment because we have some bills to pay. When we come back, we're gonna tell our question down to Idemili North, Idemili South, because we know there are a lot of things happening around there, and I'm aware that you are also from that very side. Let's take a moment. When we come back, we are going to continue with the conversation. We've been talking with Honorable Barrister Ifeanyi Chukwu Luke Mbanose. He's a stalwart of ADC, and he has been telling us so much about the party, even when he said there are things he wouldn't want to get involved or delve into. We understand that. Let's take a moment. We'll be right back.
Udala Radio, 104.7 FM.
When you think of roofing, think of strength. When you think of durability, think of beauty. And when you think of all three combined, think Best Aluminium MFG Limited. At Best Aluminium, we don't just manufacture roofing sheets. We create protection, comfort, and style for your home and business. Whether you're building from scratch or repairing an old roof, we have exactly what you need. Our products include stone-coated roofing sheets, aluminum roofing sheets, and colored roofing sheets. But that's not all. We also offer residential and commercial roofing services, roof repairs, gutters, emergency roofing services, and even durable cookwares that bring quality to your kitchen. Visit us today at 30/32 Anyika Street, Awada Obosi, Anambra State, or call us right now on 0806-416-2374 or 0706-059-6203. Are you smart, confident, and ready to earn big? Do you have a passion for sales and marketing? Then listen up. Udala Radio 104.7 FM is calling on ambitious, result-driven individuals to join our team as marketers. No limits, no boundaries, just results and rewards. Work at your own pace, meet amazing clients, and grow your income. Sell it, share it, earn your way. Join Udala Radio and start today. Interested? Visit our station today at number 5 Okono Street, Onitsha, or call 0803-350-4206 or send your CV to udalaradio@gmail.com. Don't wait. Your success story starts here. Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Seriously authentic.
When the stakes are high
The debates get hotter. When the issues demand clarity, we bring the fire. Welcome to Crossfire. Crossfire, where politics meets perspective, where issues are dissected, and where no topic is off limits. From the corridors of power to the pulse of the streets, we break down the politics, the controversies, and the decisions that shape our nation. Join Dr. Tony Olisangbeki as he puts guests on the hot seat, drilling them with the tough questions, demanding the hard truths, and leaving no room for half measures. Get ready for fearless conversations and uncompromising analysis. Crossfire, exclusive on Udala 104.7 FM Onitsha. Every
welcome back. It's to Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM Onitsha. And we are still here with Barrister Ifeanyi Chukwuluk Mbanose. He's our guest this very morning. We've been talking about the congresses in Anambra State, at the ward, local government, and state level to the national convention and the preparation for 2027. I've thought a lot of things, and then when I asked, don't you think it's better to start thinking about 2031? He said, no, never. It's gonna be 2027. Well, we're gonna see how that will be. Let's quickly ask you questions about the Idemili North, Idemili South, because I know that's where you are from. Charity begins at home, and I want to find out from you the politics of Idemili North and Idemili South. Sometimes, for those contexting for one thing or the other, some will tell you that it is turn of Idemili North, some will tell you it's turn of Idemili South, some will tell you it's this, some will tell you it's that. And the representation, of course, it's important to know that the person currently representing that area is from ADC, is a member of ADC. So is it going to be automatic ticket, or what do you think? Let's talk about his representation, what he has done. Of course, I have been able to interview quite a number of people who have one intention or the other, which they have not made open because of the timing. But one thing for sure is that everybody believes that he has something to offer. Let's talk about that politics of Idemili North, Idemili South, because I'm aware you are from, if I'm not mistaken, I'm aware, I'm talking about the town, Nobi, Umoji, of course, that's where you're from. All right, let's quickly talk about that politics. Is it hot? We've seen the whole thing, the way it's sliding, the way it's going, but let's talk about it.
Well, thank you very much, Tony. Idemili North and the South Federal Constituency is not out of Anambra State, it's part of Anambra State. And I can tell you that I can say that me from Idemili North, they are complimenting us for doing everything, I would say peacefully. So far, the committees that were set, we are extending hands of
Fellowship.
Yes, to Idemili North.
Bringing people into the party. You have Abga to challenge, because Abga is a dominant force in Anambra State. We saw the by-election in Anambra State where Abga roared like a lion. And we saw what happened. In fact, the candidate of ADC in those by-elections could not even find their feet. They couldn't win as many votes as possible. Even when we saw the coalition, many people backing the candidates, but they couldn't even make anything out of it. They were stranded. They looked like strangers in the game. Abga seems to be a dominant force. Is ADC ready?
Well, you see, the position of an Idemili North and South will not be the same. I believe that Idemili North and South is a place where we have a lot of people, we have a lot of interest, And we believe that the political awareness is increasing by day. So I believe that if you can look at what happened in the previous year of by-election, let's not use that one, because we are looking at the quality of representation, and we are looking at the quality of governance. And if you talk about a party being dominance, in Anambra State, what has that party done for Idemili North and South Federal Constituency? That is the issue. So we are not being afraid of anything like that. We believe that come 2027, we are going.
So you are using the president's language. You are not being afraid.
Yes.
They are also using his language. That's the president. That's the language of Mr. President.
We're not being afraid in the sense of being intimidated by the.
That's the same language Mr. President used. That's the same language President Tinubu used.
In this particular context, we are looking at what we are when we say a party has taken dominance in
from what happened in the last election. Look at the scoreline, and also look at the by-elections. It seems that ABGA is all out in this 2027.
It will not be the same case.
Oh, it will not be the same case.
No. We are not. We are ready to face whatever.
Because they have the structure.
You see,
they have the units, they have the micro, they have the macro, they have got structures everywhere implanted in homes. It becomes more like a philosophy, a religion. Are you gonna prepare for that?
Let me start by saying that ADC, not just within this year, but previously, before end of last year, before the election you're talking about, we had structures on ground. And these structures are still existing, and now the lot of influx of people entering had made ADC become so important, and probably in the near future the dominance will also become clear, because everybody needs a change. The issue of governance and the suffering among Nigerians is not about Idemili North and South particularly. It is Anambra State. Everybody is suffering, and I believe that in order to bring this change, Idemili North and South will not be different. We have to sit up. We have to make sure that we also effect the change that is required. Anybody that is part of this present government is not being fair to us, because it's a government that is only after themselves. They don't consider the common people, and yet they will be assuring you that they are doing this, they are doing that. But let us see that thing they are doing in the present day-to-day life of Anambra State or Idemili North and South people.
All right, we've just got a point. We have to really, at this point, bring in our listeners for them to make their comments, bring in their thoughts, their submission, and some of the conversations we've had this very morning. You have better their thought, because there is this saying, is important.
That's right.
And even a child learning how to walk must have this confidence, so that he can walk very well. He cannot just walk, he can as well sachet. Well, we get to know more about that. ADC. Okay. I remember the difference between ADC and APC. One says we are progressives. The other one says we are democratic. And the governor will tell you progressives are working together. But I don't know if ADC will also say democratics are working together, because the D in ADC can be found in PDP. PDP says People's Democratic. And we saw what they did to Nigeria. We saw what happened. And APC has come and say African Democratic
Congress.
That's the D. But APC comes and say progressives, all progressives. And if you look at ABGA, come and say all progressives again. But this time with Grand Alliance attached to that, meaning that in their own party acronyms there is alliance. And that alliance is what makes them to be the beautiful bride at any time. And that's what they're trying to project. But that's politics. Let's leave that. Allow people to come in and then make this submission, make their comments. But understand one thing. For those who may not understand my questioning, I have to play the role of devil's advocate. There are those that will say, oh, why are you saying that Tinubu will be this? That's what I'm going to do here. That's the professional way of trying to extract answers from guests. Let's quickly open the phone lines 0803-221-6973 or 0803-827-6694. We have in our studio Barrister Elisha Shaku Lukumbanose, a frontline aspirant. I know very well by the time he said you're going to come back here for Idemili North, Idemili South Federal Constituency. Let's go straight to the phone lines. Good morning, you're welcome. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you. Oh, I cannot hear what you are saying. I guess you are talking, but I cannot hear that. Let me pick the call again. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning, my honorable speaker, Tony Onisambeki.
You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning, our guest in the studio.
You're welcome.
Good morning, my brother.
You're onto the voice of Prince Earl. I'm wishing you for our nation.
You're welcome.
I want to comment on when the guest, Dr. Tony, when the guest was asking you were enumerating the achievements of Mr. President, Coastal Way, this and that, all of the things the president have achieved. I know you were playing the devil's advocate because no citizen, the people of Nigeria, if you divide them, if the president is governing well, why should his leadership or his governance not affecting the masses? That is the question. He is inviting investors, building this and that. There is insecurity in the land. There is hunger in the land. The ordinary man in Nigeria cannot boast of this APC leadership. Then what is the essence? What is the point of saying that the president has done well? He is not worthy. They are making empty promises. The ones he made, he has not fulfilled it. Then he still wants to come and make other ones. Are we fools? We are not fools. We Nigerians, we are not fools. Let him step aside. Let him step aside. His leadership is not affecting the ordinary man in the country. That is what we are asking. Not building coastal ways when we are very hungry. The people who are building it, bandits, terrorists are coming to kill people here on daily basis. Where are those to live, to enjoy all those, the coastal road you are building and all of those things mentioned? So we don't need him, and he is not leading us.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right, you sound so bitter, but then I would want you to remove emotion out of this. Politics is not something that you'll be so much emotional about it. He said he's confident, he's not afraid, he's not intimidated, and that tells you a lot. Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you. Good morning.
Good morning, Tony.
You're welcome.
Good morning, the guests in the studio.
Good morning, my brother. How are you doing today?
I'm very good and fine. And you?
You're
all right.
welcome.
What's the name?
My name is Henry. I'm calling from Miango.
You're welcome, Henry. Please go on, Henry.
Talking about the topic on ground about the guest, I heard all he have said. He has said it again and again and again, and we know very well that this is not the first time we have been hearing of this. And these are the same story that tell us during the Labour Party, that this and that. At the end of the day, it ended up as a cockaboo story. Now they are come up the same thing. I have a question for the guests.
Please go on. Please go on with the question.
The question I'm asking is that these people is mentioning that came together from this ADC or whatever they call themselves. Did they fall from the sky, or are they the same people that have held a lot of offices? Some of them are ex-Senate presidents, ex-governors, and those that, and they offer nothing when they were in the office. But today, they're telling us, okay, let me start from P2B. Like he said, that P2B is the Messiah coming to fix Nigeria. That P2B fix Anambra State. What is that P2B done did in Anambra State as a governor that he think is coming to fix Nigeria? I can give you many instances. I'm here in Anambra. P2B was a governor. P2B could not fix Anambra State. Under P2B, there was a lot of strike in Anambra State. Even Peter opened his mouth to tell us that that education is not for the poor. He does nothing. As a matter of fact, let me tell you the truth. The best governor Anambra has ever produced so far is not in P2B, it's Ngige. What Ngige did in Anambra State in the space of 3 years is to surpass what P2B did in 8 years. Now it's going to fix Nigeria.
without charity they say be from you have not fished Anambra State. Now, what are you telling me that those people, what are they going to? They are the retire, but they are not the beginner. They are not the newcomers. They have been there before, and they did nothing. They are coming to tell you, and if everybody believe you that come 2027, that who is named that Tinubu will not return back to the office. That person is deceiving you. That person is not telling the truth. This man told us in the 2023 that this is my turn when he was not on power, and he later got it. Now that he's in power, you now believing that he's going to fall, that he's not going to redeem that, knowing fully well that our vote does not count. Everybody knows that. So he left for those that. What I'm saying is that Itobi should take it easy and stop deceiving his followers. That these things will not work.
All right, thank you so much. 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 We allow you to go now, and then we have another call online. Let's quickly hear from him and then see. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning, my speaker Tono Lisambeki.
You're welcome.
Good morning, the barrister in the house. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my brother. How are you doing today?
My name is Bassa, calling you from Onisha.
You're welcome.
My barrister, I want to ask some questions.
Go ahead.
I can see ADC having a lot of protest going on in the country.
Having a lot of what?
You mean protest or problems or challenges? Let's understand you.
Protest. They have been carrying a lot of protests in Nigeria.
Okay. Against the government.
That INEC chairman could be removed of his job. And I want to ask him, if this INEC chairman is to be released, who do you think would be the perfect person?
Because who's going to appoint the next person? Because to the president.
Who's going to appoint the next person? Is it the same Tinubu? What stops you people, ADC, to be protecting about changing the narrative?
The institutional change.
To the National Assembly. That National Assembly should make a law that will make not president solely to appoint the INEC chairman. So what are you doing about that? Do you think the security in this country that is being paid by Tinubu is going to allow another person to come in the middle of this politics? Let's forget about sentiment, because sometimes we play politics with sentiment and emotion, when politics is not an emotion, or religiously. When some people play politics with religious things supposed to be like this, it's not true.
Right.
Politics is a game.
Okay.
So we should face it.
All right.
The way it's supposed to be. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. In other words, he's saying that the president pays everybody. He pays the judiciary, he pays the National Assembly, he also pays the INEC, he pays everybody. And you think they will not do his bidding? That he who pays the piper takes the tool. It's age-long adage that ADC is not campaigning for institutional change, situations where the sitting president will not have the control of the national treasury to be paying people, releasing funds to them. He will be the one that decides when to release and how he will release. And sometimes these people come cap in hand begging him for the funds, no matter the fact that the funds have been appropriated, and you think they will not, and most times he appoints them. That is just a total waste of time for anybody to challenge somebody who believes he cannot be defeated. But that's the point, that you people should be campaigning for this institutional change where the overriding powers of the president will be limited. It will be limited, brought down, where he will not have this influence on institutions by our law. Let's go back to the phone lines. Maybe put out the question, you answer that. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning.
It's good to have you.
Agadagidi.
Ototoama. Good morning.
Good morning, our guest. Ototoama.
You're welcome.
My name is Mr. Tijani Kazim Olai. I call from Mpo.
You're welcome, Tijani Olai Kazim.
Yeah, thank you very much. First of all, I want to ask the guests in the house, what is the manufacture of ADC? Yes, what's the manufacturer? They will come and campaign, both APCP, all the parties.
Remember, campaign has not started, so the asking of their manifesto, it is wrong timed. It's when campaign starts, you ask for their manifesto. The campaigns have not started.
Okay, thank you very much for putting me right. Then the next one is this: why are they not talking about the personal change? They are only busy. Remove Amukuta, remove this one, and they know that the president of Nigeria is sitting on many things in this country. and they know that, if the campaign, if they put against that, it will affect them. If at all, if they win, understand me. So they will not go for that. That is one. Second one, I want to thank Mr. Speaker, because you come out and play the devil advocate. When the money is against the APC, you say no, the president has did this, did that, did this. Good and fine, we know. But no, for me, I'm not supporting anybody. What I need is to defend good Nigeria. But this campaign on social media by this what they support, this P2B supporters, they will only come or retaliate and begin to campaign, begin to abuse you. If you say no, this is not right, they begin to abuse you. So if they want to campaign, let them campaign on what is good for Nigeria.
All right, thank you so much.
Excuse me. After your first question, which is not allowed, I wanted to know what you mean. The second, you say, why are we not doing what? Because
I think he was actually asking, if you're asking for a more pattern to be changed, who is going to appoint the next person?
Okay.
Is it not the same problem? So what's the sense of changing him? And he went further to say that all the P2B supporters, if you try to engage them in a constructive argument, they will begin to insult you. He added something like that they don't even they are not democratic enough
to listen.
And you are preaching democracy, but you're not democratic to be engaged. That if you don't agree with them, they will insult you. How undemocratic could you be and want to enthrone democracy? You cannot be undemocratic and they want to. I think that's his point. Okay. He say he would want you to address that. Let's go back to the phone line. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you. Oh, so sorry, we lost that very call. Let's quickly get back to the phone lines and then get you talking. The phones are ringing and the calls, the comments are coming in torrents. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
So thank God that I've been able to get this lines today.
Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy weekend. God bless you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
See, you see, this country, I don't know.
What's your name and where you are calling from?
This is Abraham. I'm calling you from Okpanam.
Abraham calling from Okpanam.
Yes, I'm taking it. Has taken me up to 1 year since I started listening to
Udala FM.
Yes.
And this is the first time you were able to get into.
This is the first time.
After 1 year trial.
I'm telling you honestly. Yes.
You're welcome.
I must be very lucky today.
Oh, you say he's loved the program.
I love your program, and this boy is very, very important to me.
All right.
See, my dear brother in the studio.
Right.
If they say you can only take a cow to the stream, but you cannot force water into its mouth.
Right.
Good. ABC, Peter Obi, Kwankwaso, and all the ADC chieftains, they are not poor. So I'm with opinion that if you guys have tried so much to help us and we refuse to join you to help ourselves, please go home. Let us continue the shopping. Imagine what people are saying, what Peter Obi say, what Peter Obi was that, oh God, I am not indigenous of Anambra, neither are therefore a man. But I can tell you for free, and all the Odenigo listeners, this Boga, I have three people here in Delta. They are not indigenous of Anambra, but during the Peter Obi, in Anambra said that was the year their poverty ended. Till today, they are multiple millionaires. They are helping others. They are helping people. These people I'm telling you now, they are helping people. They are indigenous of Delta State here.
Okay.
Now you are telling somebody is coming to say, okay, are they trying to say that the present condition is? In fact, if some people make comment, you ask them question, what is the way? Because the program, as we are saying now, you are looking for a way out. Not comment, not saying ask them what is the way out. If the present condition you are is so good, but okay, let it be. Let's continue. Because if it's not so, you have to fight. I saw someone yesterday, sir. Please just pardon me. Paul apostle in the Bible, was he not a sinner? He killed Christians everywhere. Was it not that same Paul that later changed to a Christian that everybody is following today?
Exactly.
So if it Obi was a governor before, other was governor before, they said what was they doing? What they say? Okay, now today the present condition have touched them. Okay, maybe God have told their mind for them to make a change, and somebody will say, he was a governor. In fact, if we are ready, we will be ready. Please, if you guys have tried enough and you don't have the support, just go and enjoy the one you was before. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Let's quickly take a commercial break. When we come back from this commercial break, we are going to allow more calls. I am aware that our guest is noting down every comments, reactions, submission. He has been doing that because he's going to react to some of them. Let's quickly take a break. When we come back, we are going to continue with the conversation. We'll be right back.
Udala Radio, 104.7 FM.
For too long, realtors have walked alone. No structure, no protection, no unified voice. That era ends now. Welcome to the Realtors Summit 2026, a historic gathering that will redefine real estate in Anambra and Asaba. The Anambra Asaba Realtors Association, a platform for unity, influence, and collective power. And beyond that, a Realtors Welfare Initiative built to support you when it matters most. Strengthen your career and secure your future in the industry. At this summit, you'll discover smarter ways to close and scale, multiple income channels in real estate, and strategies that move you from hustle to ownership and authority. Featuring Dr. Tony Olisa Mbeki of Udala FM, Lovelin Chinenye Nana, Property Boss, and Mr. Jude Igwebike, IT Professional. Date 2nd May 2026. Time 11 a.m. Venue 5-star Restaurant Hall, Stock Exchange, Onisha. This is not for everyone, but for realtors who are ready to rise. For inquiries, call 0803-276-0653. This summit is free, powered by Nebek Real Estate Limited.
Genti n'ọkwa dị oke mkpa. Ụlọ ọrụ Ajuru Chukwu Motors bụ nke malitere ọhụrụ ji ohere a na-eme ka ọhaneze mara na ha ga-enye njem ụgbọala n'efu n'ụbọchị Satọde bụ ụbọchị 18 ọnwa April afọ 2026 site n'elekere 7 nke ụtụtụ ruo n'elekere 12 nke ehihie. N'ebe ụlọ ọrụ ha dị bụ na People's Park na ncherịta ihu n'ọnụ ụzọ ámá nke Army Barracks Onitsha. Ụlọ ọrụ ha ọzọ dịkwa na Soludo Park Aroma Ọka. Ụgbọala dị ndụ ga-adị iji buru ndị njem niile n'efu site na People's Park Onitsha, Ọkụzụ, Ịgbariam, Ọka ma ọgịga na nlọta. Maka ajụjụ kpọọ akara ekwentị 07031272420 maọbụ 08127866219 maọbụkwazi 07020243319. Ajuru Chukwu Motors, a ga-ada ebu gị kwa ụbọchị bịa n'oge ka ị nweta oche nke gị o.
Italy, Ghana,
Nebek Real Estate brings you opportunity that grow with you. Greenfield Estate, Oba, just 1 minute from Owerri Road. Kings Court Estate, Ibiza, opposite Admiralty University. Purity Garden and Classic Estate, Asaba, just 10 minutes from Asaba International Airport. Ikenga Luxury Estate, Ojoto, 7 minutes to Electrical Dealers Market, Obosi. Nebek. Invest today, gain tomorrow. Visit us at 25 Oka Road, Onisha, beside Mandela, or Asaba Office 21 and 22, Brent Oil Mall, 295 ABC Road, opposite Lion House, Asaba, or call us on 080-3265-7455 or 070-1607-8648 or visit us at www.nebekgroup.com.
Oh, when this bread, oh, when this, na better to ready, oh, when this bread, oh, when this, oh, marama, when this bread, oh, marama, mama, papa, like amo, when this bread, oh, kwa chicken and arike, oh, when this bread, when this, you too much, you for body. Better bread, you marama. Oh, when this bread, oh, when this, oh, marama, when this.
Locate us at 2nd Business Park, Enugu Road, beside Central Police Station, Onitsha, or St. Michael's Plaza at Tani Road, Plot 81, DDPA, DVS Road, Asaba, or contact 0701 149 1571. Wendy Bread, a taste you will always crave for.
Udala Radio, 104.7 FM.
Welcome back. It's still Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM. This very beautiful Saturday morning, being the 18th day in the month of April year 2026. You're welcome, and we still have our guests in the studio, Honorable Barrister Stefani Chukwumbanose, and we are going to continue with the conversation. We are going to go straight to the phone lines and continue taking your calls and see your reaction to some of the things he has said. Remember the lines to call. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you. Of course, let's quickly call out the lines 0803 221 6973 or 0803 827 6694. These are the two lines you can call for you to be heard and also be part of the program. Let's quickly go straight to the phone lines. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you.
Hello, good morning, Tony.
You're welcome. It's good to have you. You're welcome. Please go on. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello, are you there? Okay, you're calling from Onitsha. What's your name? All right, you have to call us back because your line seems not to be connecting. We are finding it difficult to get hooked up with you. Please do call us back. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And our guest, a very good morning to you, my brother.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Yeah, very fine, my brother. Yes, Chidi Chukuma joining you from.
You're welcome.
First and foremost, I must congratulate the ADC for a very, very successful convention nationwide and even the state. Here in Anambra State, it was so successful. It's not everything that we bother ourselves. The submission led by the Coyote. And I think making mockery of himself. What does air condition have to do with convention? I watched this thing, the 1999 Just Convention, EDP Convention. It was carried out in open field. That is the convention that produced Olusegun Obasanjo as the president of this country. And this one is making case of a venue, whether there is air condition or not. And I don't know why we are paying attention to such things. And also the fact that the venue was denied. That is when the Minister of Abuja denied the people that it is not hidden. We have to complain of that so that there will be a change. If we fail to complain and to say exactly what will happen, maybe next time it will repeat itself. That venue is for every Nigerian. It's not about a political party. Every political party have right to use that venue. And then we have to ask question, why did he deny the AGC that usage of that venue? That is something that we're supposed to keep asking question on. Whether that place is meant for APC alone. That is the question that they're supposed to give us a clear answer to that. And for that successful convention, I think the power is shared between the North and the South. And I must tell you that it is the turn of the South to complete their 8 years. Atiku Abubakar should wait until 2031 if he still has interest. But for this opportunity, I'm pleading to the North to retrostate. We have helped them, we have supported them, and this is the time for them to show us that kindness for throwing their weight behind the P2D. P2D is the one of the people now. And if they make any mistake of bringing the wrong person, that will be the end of the whole thing in Nigeria, and we will continue to suffer. See the suffering now. They have to do, even the Southwest also, we have helped them in many ways. And this is the time for them to support us. Because that 4 years that they have stolen from the Southeast is not good for the Southerners. They're supposed to, even if it was not a microzone, but we know that it was son of the Igbo to produce the president of Igbo extraction. But they deny also that opportunity.
All right. We've got a point.
To relocate it this time. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for your submission. We got that, of course, supporting that the North should consider. It is the town of the South. They still doing turn by turn in this country. Okay. Good morning. You are welcome. Because I don't know if there is zoning. Is zoning still in existence? If it is still in existence, who adheres to it? Who maintains it? But of course, we know that it is a thing of the mind. Well, let's go back to the phone lines, and then from there we can as well take some. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, we cannot hear you, but your line is actually going. Good morning.
Good morning, Barrister Ifani.
Morning, my
Good morning, my chief speaker. Tony Risambeki, Ogagiri, one of two.
You're welcome.
The voice of Honorable Ibenze Mayor Okuchukwu JP Okurolo Chendo Umezoneke. I would have known. Can I go on?
You're welcome.
Yes, I thank the guest. He's a very seasoned analyst. He did justice to many things. But I want to ask him a very important question. Now the convention has been held after all puzzles by the grace of God. But I want to ask him, all these people now, all these fractions, like today you read out about multi-fractions in this ADC, is it not a kind of distraction, or will it not cause problem or trouble again? This is my number one question. Number two question is, we know that all the people that are in ADC now are old politicians that has tasted power or been in one political office or the other, who has not done well. Now they have come back like egos, gathered, has started promising us heaven and earth again. Now, if we agree with them and vote them again, what miracle or wonders will they do? So, no, Risambeki, I think that is who made a very big point. Instead of the ADC people start telling us about changing the narrative, the election process, the powers that we are infused on the presidency that makes him to be in charge, paying, in fact, seeing about everything about Nigeria. And that is the problem we are having in this country. Because you can't tell me, Tony Risambeki, if you are my master, I must adhere to your authority and your directive. So, I thought that they should have convinced us that they will fight and protest against those powers that the president is holding. Because that was the reason he told us confidently that he is not afraid of anybody. It had it been that he doesn't have those powers, both the security, the lawyers, the INEC, and all those House of Reps and Senate in his hands. How do you think that he will be bold to say such things? While the Nigeria is boiling, every day kidnapping, every day money, every day killing, we don't care about that. The only thing they care now is about 2027. I want to call on innocent Nigerians. Yesterday, I saw somewhere in the Facebook, just women, old women, nakedly, fully nakedly protesting. Even I didn't hear it in the news this morning. So I want to ask innocent Nigerians take our power and take our rights back, because these people are fooling us. And I want to tell you, if APC continue in governance again after 2027, I'm telling you, we are going to suffer more than we are suffering now. Thank you, and God bless you all.
All right, thank you so much for your submission this very morning. Of course, I know, I guess you are noting down some of these questions down.
Exactly.
Okay. Good morning. You are welcome. It's good to have you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. You're welcome.
Oh, yeah. This is a radio senator from Asaba.
You're welcome. Please, this
what's the name?
Radio senator. But we would prefer you give us your real name. I don't understand which one is radio senator.
That's the name they call me all over.
This is a political program. This is not an entertainment program.
Okay, Michael.
Please go on.
See, I don't know of Anambra State. If you come to Delta State now, if you go to the interland, everywhere you see ATC. They are putting billboards, they are hiring offices, they are planting. I don't know of Anambra, but in Delta, if you go to the interland, they are planting ABC office everywhere. So people here are enlightened. People here are aware. The governor, I love the governor. The governor will not put his mouth in presidential election. So when it comes to governorship election, the governor in Delta State will still come back. They have no opposition. But when you come to presidential election, I trust the people of Delta. I don't think APC will win anything in Delta. Tinubu can have all the old politicians that always lie, who are in Abuja, who are not on ground. Are you hearing me? The politicians who are in Abuja deceiving themselves, say they are with Tinubu. Somebody will say our tribe endorse. There's nothing like that in Delta.
All right.
And if Peter Obi can emerge, he's going to win massively in Delta State. That is a sure. That is a guarantee. Nobody can stop it. Anybody who tries to stop it will not live to tell the story. That is the truth I'm telling you. Because people are enlightened. Tell me where APC will go and win in the north. Delta North will not vote for APC. Even in the south, they will not vote APC.
Now, who will declare the results?
Who will declare the results?
Who will declare the results?
Real-time submission of transmission of results will determine the result.
We're going to come back to that. Please go on.
See, are you hearing me?
We can hear you.
People here are enlightened. You cannot see that. The last election, did Okowa not try, but did he not fail? Okowa tried to manipulate for PDP to win. He was the governor then, he was disgraced.
You are talking about the other states. All right, you are talking about the other state, but you remember what happened in Akwa Ibom? You remember what happened in Bayelsa? Peter did not win in Bayelsa, he did not win in Akwa Ibom. Please go on. No, you are concentrating your analysis on the other states. All right, no, let's allow you.
Are you hearing me? I'm talking of where I know, I know.
Okay.
I'm not talking of Anambra. Okay. As far as I'm concerned, Delta State, AGC will win here in presidential election. There's nothing, nobody can stop them.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
It's what I know.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Of course, he has a strong belief that ADC will make a good outing, a good show in Delta State. Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Tony Becky.
You're welcome.
My brother Barrister.
Please make it
good
brief.
Morning.
We are going to allow you just a minute because we are running out of time.
Okay. I think Nigerians are now politically aware.
Your name?
Let's have
My
your name.
My name is Wanganga Nwokoma, reaching you from Newi.
But Wanganga, before you go on, I would also want to tell our listeners, please, we are going to read out some messages on our social media platform, Facebook. Please go there and drop your message. Wanganga, please go on.
Okay. Nigerians are politically aware now. We know what happened in 2023, and Nigerians have decided that such a thing will not happen. Even if Amatopi or Amipoto, I cannot pronounce that name very well because it's not an Igbo name. Sorry for that. But I just want to let us know, where people rig the election, it's where you don't have massive turnout. That is where people rig the election. Nigerians have decided this time. For people who are asking, what did the P2B did in Anambra State, please don't bother us with that. If you want to know what P2B did in Anambra State, go and Google. You will read and get tired of his achievements. Let us take this country from these people. Are you happy? On what is happening now? Nigerians should rise up. Let us stop deceiving ourselves with propaganda. Mr. President said he's not afraid. But looking at his face, he is afraid. The North is running away from him. The East is running away from him. He is only holding on the Western region, of which he will get up about at least 50% in we fell. We know all that. So he's afraid.
All right.
Let us go out and vote and stop this propaganda. Good morning.
All right, thank you so much, Wanganga. Let's quickly turn our attention to our guests. You've written quite a lot of things. You've got so much there. It's a large note. I don't know the part we are going to start from, but let's see if you can do anything with your notes. You've written so many things there.
Yes.
Let's quickly address some of the concerns raised by our callers and those who.
Thank you very much. From the first caller, he was so emotional. And I didn't even get his name because he just talked out of emotions. He suggested that the governance of the day has not affected anybody in any way in this country. Therefore, they should step aside. I quite agree with you, my brother.
Nobody steps aside as far as power is concerned in Africa.
I know.
Nobody steps aside.
Power is not given.
It's not
an a la carte.
It's never served a la carte.
It's never served a la carte. You're right. So, my brother, we are doing everything humanly possible and believing also that ADC being the only opposition party and the strong opposition party to face the present government in power will definitely do the needful and take over the power from them by his grace. So I also agree with you. I saw your grievances and I know how bad you are, how terrible you're feeling at this time. So God will do it. And for the second,
quickly let's summarize all of them because of time.
Okay.
Because
for the second person, Henry from Iowa, you say Peter did not do anything in Anambra, but I want to let you know that nobody ever will satisfy everybody. You can see that a lot of people have already countered your belief and your what you are saying about what Peter has done in Anambra State. You can see that Peter did a lot. And besides, from the time he left as a governor, there is also a lot of gap. Don't tell me that with what he has gone through, what he has seen so far, he has not advanced so much and have a lot of offer to give Nigeria as a whole. So please, I believe that he is the true Messiah, and I want you to please bury every grievance you have in the past and support him very well with your whole family and community, because you can see the whole Nigerians will not.
So if he has any grievance against him, he should bury it. He should bury it.
Yes,
it should be.
I'm suggesting.
Okay.
Yes. Bassa talking about protests because of appointment of INEC, and he said who is going to be the chairman, who is going to appoint the chairman. As a matter of fact, ADC is not really fighting against appointment of the chairman. We are only trying to put the right machinery on ground to be able to do the election and see the election will go free and fair and the vote will count. It will no longer be business as usual, where somebody will say, snatch it, take it away and run away with it. It's no longer going to be that again. Nigerians are determined. We are going to vote and we are going to protect our vote. And you will even, if you say the result transmission, real-time transmission is not possible, I can tell you that we can also make sure that the result is clear, will be clearly written, and people will take the pictures of it on their phone. And it's no longer like the case in the last years when you say we don't have agents. We have structure on ground. And I can tell you, during the election, ADC will have party agents in all the polling units. Therefore, our election and result will be protected. Okay? Then, so we are not bothered about the chairman. If you like, let him appoint his son as the chairman of INEC. What we are asking for, let the election be free and fair, and let the vote count. That's what we are asking for. If he's not afraid, why wouldn't he allow the election to be free and fair? Why wouldn't he allow the INEC to do their job?
Right.
Okay. Then Abraham from Opanam. He said Peter Obi's principle is wonderful, and I agree with you, because he has done a lot and he's going to offer a lot. If you look at him, you will see that at this age, he's only ready to sacrifice.
We are completely out of time. I don't know if you have any, because we have to read some messages on Facebook. Okay, let's quickly see if we can attend to some posts we have here on Facebook, just as we promised earlier on. We have got so many of them. John Umwe, I'm shocked to hear somebody saying that PO achieved nothing in Anambra State. Of course, saying terrible. That's according to John Umwe. Communion Okeke says, good morning, my lovely family in Udala FM. Communion from Ojoto. I think and believe that Atiku Amechi and Peter Obi Kwankwaso will be a divided vote, and that will give APC right and power to win the next election. I don't think that Southeast and South are ready to take the presidency leadership of this country. That's Communion OKK. You also have Jerry James. He says there is one thing to have Nigerians vote for ADC. My question is, how are you going to protect those votes? ADC is the old wine in a new glass, but we prefer lesser evil. ADC, that's what he's trying to say, that they are not virgin, they are not this, they are not that, they have their luggage, they have their baggage, they have their luggage, they have all these things. So even if it is established, they have many baggage, many luggage. Well, he said he prefers lesser evil. Which one is lesser evil? Who has a position one to be higher evil and lesser evil? But that's according to the writer. His opinion. It's his opinion anyway. So I don't know which one is lesser and higher evil. Okay, Sebastian Abiwe, good morning, house. He says the statement credited to Femi Fani-Kayode as regard to ADC National Convention has a picture to tell that he is one of the stomach infrastructure politicians ever ready to paint other political parties black just to gain relevance to his boss. Okoye Angoleka says, good morning, lovelies. Thank God it's Saturday. I'm Angoleka watching from Umoji. You guys should keep up the good work. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Dr. Mma Olebara from Owerri. Leadership does not harp on position, but rather on principles. Why and how? You got to that position. Leadership is about capacity to see values more than fellowship. A leader does not take advantage, abuse, intimidate, suppress, or diminish his subject. A leader is one who set out to change lives and situations for the better. Being a leader means doing the right thing and not being a dealer. That's from Owerri, Imo State. We've got so many other messages. I think these are the ones we can take because we are completely out of time. Barrister, this is your final statement before we leave here.
Okay, thank you so much, Tony, for this opportunity this time around. Like you know, it is not time for campaign.
Yeah, it's not
and
time.
I'm actually saying that for people of Anambra State and Nigerians and this ADC supporters, I want everybody to get ready because this is the ADC is the moving train. You should join the moving train. And for people in my constituency, federal constituency, I want to say I'm glad that a lot of people are showing interest in coming to contest. Even when they are 10, I'm glad. The only thing I'm sure, from the vast of my weight of my experience as a businessman and as a legal practitioner, I am the best person, and I believe that I will take it up. I will emerge.
No. This is not time for campaign. Just like I said earlier on, primaries are being scheduled. Of course, we're going to allow the internal party system to go on, and once that does, I'm probably going to come back here. You give us a good morning, and then we give you a good interview. All right, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much, everyone, for being part of this very program. We appreciate you. We really, really appreciate your time and the conversations. It was actually explosive as usual, but remove emotion, please. Let's not mix politics with emotion because it's not going to take us anywhere. Politics is a game. Just see it as a game, but we know that we must ensure that the lives of our people, they are protected. That's the most important thing in our Constitution, section 14, subsection 2b. The security and welfare of the people shall at all times be paramount.
Of course.
That's just that. Thank you so much My name is Tony Olisambeki. Thank you so much, Barrister Nyambano, for having time to be here. You came all the way from Lagos last night, from Abuja to Lagos, from Lagos to Umoji to here. I know that was a space, at least little space, but you were able to make it. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you.
And that's what we're going to take. We'll see you next week. This program is Sports Arena. Just stay by and enjoy the program.
Quality bread, Wendy's bread, for your family breakfast. Wendy's bread, I'll pack it and Wendy's